Alright, got a pick in here and get the O-rings out of here. Just going to pass the lip there like this, squirm around like that, and come right on out. These don't feel that old. Put the new ones in there. Put the pick in there like that, run around a couple times. Take the twist out of the O-ring. The O-ring has a twist and it'll leak. It's just barely above the surface, but it should be enough. It should be good to go. Same thing with this one. They feel pretty soft, so they don't feel that old. See, you roll them down, they get nice and wrinkly. Damn it. Go around a couple times like that and it unwinds it. Junk ones for now. Okay, oil. Already got oil in these still because I didn't really clean them too well, but I'm going to try to make sure there is oil in them when it starts up. These are Jim's lifters. They've been in there for a long time. These are the big roller ones, which I don't really like. I ran out of good ones, which are the earlier ones. Early ones are rebuildable. These ones are not. But they appear to be holding up pretty good, so that's a plus. These should roll nice and freely. If there's any binding at all, they're junk. Get rid of them. Try to clean them out, but if they don't clean out, they ain't no good. They will take out a motor in a heartbeat. Okay. Not really too concerned on which direction they were in there before. A little bit of oil on the O-ring so it'll slide up easier. This is the rear one. I modify my parts, they just fit right together. These are also cast iron blocks, which they used in the 60s and 50s on Sportsters, XLCH bikes. The aluminum ones came out later on, later 60s. Garbage. There used to be some brass blocks out there. Sifton used to make them, and they've been around for decades. And then Jim's has some built aluminum ones, which are better than the cast Harley ones, but are they worth the extra money? That's up to you. Me, I take the cast iron ones. Then you take them and hone them out for oversize, because they're going to be worn. And then they're good to go for a long time. Under abusive riding conditions like I have. But I do abuse them. 8,000 RPM is normal RPM for me. Now with the big stroker mode, it's a little bit lower. Now it's 7,500. Yeah, the average has dropped from the high 7s to the lower 7s now. Probably lower, probably upper 6s. Got more torque with the nitro. But the RPMs are still way the hell up there. My motors do not know it's under 6,000 RPMs. That's called idle. Okay, that looks good. 2 new rubbers going. Alright. I've also modified these covers. I shorten them up a little bit in here so they don't engage in the rubber very deep. That way they don't hit the lifter. Drops out the ceiling slightly, but I don't care about ceiling, I care about hitting. Okay, it all looks good. Spin it through, make sure there's no issues. Appear to be going up and down like they're supposed to be. Street bikes don't go up. Street bikes only go about that far up. I go that far up. My tappet lift is more than most street bikes for valve lift. That's how much lift I run. Just a tick under 700 pounds. So we got a lot of movement. Okay, so got that in, that's all buttoned up. I could put the plate on there, but I'll leave that for later. I can't put oil and rod until we put the pan on the bottom. That has to be in the bike before I can do that. So we're coming to the end of what we're going to do on the bench. The last big thing I got to deal with is the sprocket nut on here. This nut shaft is going to destroy my sprocket nut. I don't want to destroy my expensive Harley nut that they don't make no more. It's an original nut. There's no reason to butcher an original nut to fit a crappy shaft. They make crappy nuts for that. I thought we were in neutral. Appear to be in here. Alright, so I'm going to go find me a nut. We're not going to use that one. Alright, we'll be back. Alright, we're back. So we're going to figure out the sprocket nut. There's our sprocket. Lines seem to be crap, like always. Between the sprocket and this, it's crap. Looks like I got a big sprocket on here. Looks pretty big. I got almost 20 maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 fingers. Pretty damn big for me. 18 is normal. Got it geared way up for nitro. Factory installed. Okay, so we got Bender Overcycle thin ass nut. Just a factory fat ass nut, what I like using. And we have early nut, which is another fat nut but has a tower on it for a seal. So we have an Eastern and we have a Tucker, which is unknown brand, could be Bender, could be somebody else, don't know. They didn't really specify who was making their stuff back then. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably Bender. But we don't know. Okay, we're going to see what fits the best. I'm not a big fan of real thin nuts. They're hard to get off because the socket slides off, especially out in the middle of nowhere. And there's not much thread area either, so that's another negative. Alright, really thin. Half the thickness, look at that thing. Little munchkin nut. It fits though, kind of. Sorta. versus my nut. No way it's going on there. Okay, then we got, let's go with a Tucker nut. This is for 70 and earlier. We don't care about the stuff on the outside that pops out. We care about the thread. There it's going. She's a snug, but she's going tight. Worry about that falling off. Works like a champ. I like that nut. Nope, no way that stock nut's going to go on there. Okay, so we'll put that with the racing shaft that came off of. Okay, so we got our options. We can use this one or this one. Which one should I use? The thin ass one or the big fat one?
Sorry to interrupt.
Alright, thank you. UPS. So I'm going to go with the early one. I like the big nut. Put a hole on the threads there. I do use a lock tab on this because they like to fall off. So I don't really want to tighten them up too much, and the splines on these are not very tight. So they work loose on you. If you put them on really tight, you can't get them off at the track. I've had that problem. It's hard to make a gear change when you can't get your sprocket on and off. Makes it very difficult. Okay, put on the baggie. This we're not going to use. I was going to use it if I had to, but I don't have to. Alright, that's been updated. Okay. Need to be careful about the torque I put on this. I think it's enough. We only got a couple hammer hits on it, and I wasn't holding it, so it's free to spin. Shouldn't have too much torque on it. Hopefully it doesn't. Okay, now you got to bend the lock tab over just enough to keep it from falling off, but not so I can't get to it. That's enough. I feel like the tab's about ready to break off anyway. Probably will. Okay, so I got it bent over a little bit, but I can still bend it back with a screwdriver easily. Looks like that tab's already broken off. This one here is getting really soft, so next time it'll probably fall off. So there you go. That's how you do that. No interruptions.